Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Turn around, please.
Why? Is this a joke?
No, it's not a joke.
What is happening?
Like I said, I'm detaining you right now. You're not under arrest, but I'm just detaining you.
Okay.
On August 12th, 2025, police responded to a noise complaint involving a garbage truck, but the situation quickly escalated and ultimately ended with an arrest and the suspect being taken to the police station.
Who's involved? Who called? You called?
I called on this gentleman.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Zach?
Are you hurt? You want medics to check you out?
No.
All right. Did you witness this? No? Anybody around? Just you and him? All right.
So I live upstairs.
Let me talk to him first really quick, okay? Sir?
How you doing, guy?
All right. Are you hurt?
No.
All right. I just had to ask you that real quick. Let me get with her and then I'll come back, all right? She called. So what's going on, man?
I live upstairs and I'm trying to work. I had a phone call coming and this noise just keeps going and going and going. So I just was on the balcony and I was like, excuse me, like can you make that noise stop? Because he wasn't in the vehicle, it wasn't moving or anything, but can you just make the noise stop? Like I have to get on this phone call. People live up here. And he just dismissed me, so I came down and I was like, can you please make this noise stop? And he's like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, oh, I'll get the fuck out of here. So I come around to the side. I didn't get in the vehicle, but it was slightly open, so I just stepped up and I shut it off one notch. And he pulled me by my arm. Yeah, I just shut it off one notch, and he pulled me by my arm down. And he like held on to me really tight and like pulled me. And so I pushed him to get off of me, and then he punched me in the face.
You have your ID or anything on you?
I can go get it upstairs.
All right.
Like that escalated
really quick.
extremely quick.
Can you go ahead and turn around for me really quick? I'm just gonna detain you and put you in handcuffs, okay?
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious, yes ma'am.
Why?
Turn around, please.
Why? Is this a joke?
No, it's not a joke.
What is happening?
Like I said, I'm detaining you right now. You're not under arrest, but I'm just detaining you.
Okay.
No, not right now.
My feet are burning on the ground. Can I move right over there in the shade?
Hey, listen, just relax, okay? Relax, all right? Range 3, one female detained.
Oh my God.
One female detained. Okay.
I get punched in the face when I'm being detained.
All right. You have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. You have the right to the present representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement and during any question. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you're entitled to the present representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement and during any question. If at any time during the interview you wish not to answer any questions, you're privileged to remain silent. I can make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement. This must be of your own free will. Any statement can be and will be used against you in your court of law. Do you understand, right? So
what I don't understand is why I'm in handcuffs right now.
Because you're detained, I'm by myself, and you came from your house down here because of a noise from the garbage truck, and you pushed this gentleman, okay? Hold on, that's what you just told me.
So I'm by myself.
Hold on, I'm by myself, so I'm detaining you because I'm by myself, okay? We got to cause a...
He's the one who punched me in the face. This doesn't make any sense.
All right, I asked you if you were hurt and did you need medics. I don't see any injuries on you, but from what you just told me, you went and entered his car, his work vehicle.
I just shut the thing off.
Okay, can you shut the car off from the outside, ma'am?
I was standing on the thing and I pulled... Now I can't do anything, but I just shut it off. I didn't get in the vehicle. I just stepped on the thing and he grabbed me and pulled me down.
Okay,
and
I'll be right back.
So I pushed him off of me.
I'll be right back. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? What's your name, sir?
I'm Fernando.
Fernando, nice to meet you. I'm Officer McCray. I'm going to read you your rights, okay? You're not under arrest. I'm just going to read this to you because I got to talk to you, okay?
You're ready. I'm talking to my supervisor now.
No problem. You have the right to remain silent, not answer any questions. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. You have the right to the present representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement and during any question. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you're entitled to the present representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement and during any question. If at any time during the interview you wish not to answer any questions, you're privileged to remain silent. I can make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement. This must be of your own free will. Any statement can be and will be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand your rights, Fernando? Mm-hmm. All right. With these rights in mind, do you want to give me a quick rundown of what happened?
Okay, Nick, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So you say you're under arrest?
No, he's not under arrest. I have to ask him what happened. So I don't know what happened, but I just have to ask him what happened. I have to read that. I read that to her and asked her, so now reading to him and asking him.
Okay. I'll pull him out the dump out. Okay.
Okay.
The boys are on the truck. The boys on the truck is very low. I understand that. But it runs. How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing? So it's very annoying. So she goes in the truck and shut it off while I'm trying to load this truck up.
Okay.
So I grabbed her, put her down, and she hit herself in the mouth. Say I punched her in the mouth.
Out of the truck when she was in the truck.
She went in the truck. Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you have your license on you by chance?
Yeah.
Get there. I'm about to get there. Right? It's there. So Fernando, after you pulled her out of the car because she was inside the vehicle,
right?
She claimed she hit herself. Do you know with what hand or anything like, or how she hit herself?
I grabbed her by arm and pulled her
from the ground. You were standing on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, you stood up there too.
No, she was in the truck.
On what side? Did she go on the passenger side or the driver's side? So she opened the door. Was it open or closed? Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to load this can.
Okay.
I grabbed her,
okay,
pulled her down, so you don't supposed to be in the truck at all.
Okay.
And she hit her stuff in the mouth, that's when you just punched me.
Okay.
Ready, lady?
At any point did you hit her? Okay. So let me ask you this. Did she put any hands on you or did she touch you at all?
She pushed me.
She pushed you? How did she push you? In the chest?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you hurt at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to press charges on her?
I can?
Yeah. She pushed you. It's battery.
And she is your truck.
Correct. So it's up to you. I'm saying that, so basically we're here to investigate a battery. She alleges that you punched her in the face. So that's why we're here. So if you want to press charges, that's, you know, right now, based off of your story and her story, you're the victim. That's why we're asking if you want to press charges,
okay,
meaning she's going to be prosecuted. If not.
But she had no business coming down, getting this private property and trying to do shit off. And that's what they said.
Okay. All right, so ma'am, you're going to be placed under arrest today for simple battery.
He hit me. Are you kidding me?
No, ma'am.
He punched me in the face, and I'm the one that's going to jail. I've got my 2 dogs upstairs. I have to pee. I have to call work. This is insane to me right now, and nothing's happened to him. He's a grown fucking man who punched a woman.
Hold on. First of all, listen. I'm telling you right now where we're at, but I'm saying if you need to make arrangements and stuff, we can help you with that.
Please.
But I'm just telling you right now, if that was a police car and we had sirens on there, would you come down there and do the same thing you did to that car?
Not a police car. I'm not an idiot.
Okay. Well, I'm just letting you know, when you trespassed inside the work vehicle.
Didn't go in it. My arm was in it at the most.
Okay.
I was still on this bottom rung.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you right now, based on what
Are you laughing with him? He punched me in the face. He punched me in the face, and you're over there laughing with him, and nothing's gonna happen.
I'm sorry. Where are your shoes?
Well, they're upstairs. I live here.
Okay.
She said
Yes,
she has a
nobody
couple of
does.
dogs or something up there.
Okay.
You have a neighbor or somebody that can take care of the dogs?
I can put one in the crate, but this is just crazy. He punched me in the face.
You're missing everything before.
No, you're missing the punch in the face. I've never been punched in the face in my life.
Wait. The very first crime that was committed was you entering his
I
truck.
didn't enter his truck. My arm went in the truck, and I shut the notch off. One thing, I was coming out of the truck. I never went in.
Is he good?
I'm handcuffs and arrested because I shut off someone's hand.
No, I don't need anything else from him.
There's a case number.
got
I gave you a case. I need to give him
shit.
You got
Watch your
truck
mouth.
information inside on the truck?
No, I didn't get that. But
Are we gonna do trespassing on the vehicle too or no?
That is insane.
I am.
Yeah.
Wait, he's the victim?
Yeah.
Are you guys serious? This is like a nightmare right now.
Listen.
He punched me in the face. I don't understand what you guys don't understand about that. I called the cops on him.
I know it's gonna be documented that way, but I'm trying to get you to understand something you're not getting.
I'm not.
So I'm telling you that the first thing that you did was leave your residence, and you came down. You trespassed into the work vehicle.
I didn't get in the vehicle.
He tried to remove you from the vehicle.
He grabbed me by my arm. I'm surprised. I won't be surprised if I have bruises on my arm from him. How he grabbed me and pulled me down.
waste management? Okay.
Yeah, just have a seat in there, slide in, and we'll put the seatbelt on.
Can you show me something that will smoke for 84 cigarette?
She is standing barefoot on hot pavement, hands locked behind her back, staring at the officer in disbelief. Just minutes ago, she was upstairs in her apartment, trying to take a work call. Now she is in handcuffs, being told she is going to jail for simple battery. And none of this makes sense to her. She is the one who called the police. She is the one who says she was punched in the face. She is the one demanding answers, while the man she accused stands nearby, uncuffed, calm, and labeled the victim. Over and over, she repeats the same words. I just shut it off one notch. Not stole the truck. Not drove it. Not damaged it. just turned off the noise that was driving her crazy. But to the officer on scene, the situation has already crossed a legal line, and it did so long before anyone mentioned a punch. This is the moment that defines the entire encounter, the instant where a routine noise complaint collapses into an arrest, not because of emotion, not because of gender, but because of one decision that, under the law, cannot be undone. How does the person who calls for help become the one placed in cuffs? And why does the allegation that shocked her the most end up mattering the least? To understand that, we have to rewind to what actually happened, step by step. The incident begins in a quiet residential complex during a routine garbage collection. A sanitation truck is stopped below the woman's apartment, its warning buzzer sounding repeatedly as part of standard operation. From her balcony, she calls down, asking the worker to turn the noise off so she can take an important work call. The request is refused. The truck is still actively being used, and the worker continues his job. Frustrated, she leaves her apartment and goes downstairs. This is the first critical decision point. Instead of calling police at that moment, she approaches the truck directly. Words are exchanged. Tension rise. Then, believing the vehicle is idle, she steps onto the side rung of the truck, reaches inside, and turns the ignition one notch to stop the noise. From her perspective, this is minor. From his perspective, it is not. The worker reacts immediately, grabbing her and pulling her away from the vehicle. She resists, pushes him to get free, and the two separate. She claims he punched her in the face. He denies it, stating she fell and struck herself during the struggle. Police arrive minutes later. They speak to both parties separately. No visible injuries are observed. No witnesses are present. No video captures the physical contact. What officers do have is a clear sequence of actions. She left her residence, approached a work vehicle, entered it without permission, and initiated physical contact during the confrontation. From that point forward, the investigation stops being about noise and becomes something else entirely. At the center of this case is a detail many viewers initially dismiss as trivial: the moment her hand crossed into the garbage truck. Under Florida law, trespass is not limited to stepping fully inside a building or vehicle. It does not require intent to steal, damage, or even remain inside. What matters is unauthorized entry, however brief, into property that does not belong to you. A sanitation truck is not a public object. It is a piece of private, commercial equipment actively in use. The side steps, the cab, and the controls are all restricted areas. Reaching inside to manipulate the ignition, even just one notch, meets the legal definition of trespass. This is why the officer's framing becomes so important. From a legal standpoint, the first confirmed violation is not the alleged punch. It is the decision to approach and interfere with the vehicle. Once that threshold is crossed, the roles begin to shift. The worker is no longer simply a source of noise. He is now someone protecting his workspace. She is no longer a complainant. She is someone who entered a vehicle without permission. This single action reframes the entire encounter. Everything that happens after is evaluated through that lens. And once officers identify a clear, provable trespass, the case stops being ambiguous and starts moving in only one direction. Many people assume battery requires a punch, a strike, or visible injury. Under Florida law, that assumption is wrong. Simple battery is defined as any intentional, unwanted physical contact against another person. The severity does not matter. Injury is not required. What matters is whether the contact was deliberate and unauthorized. In this case, both parties admit to physical contact. The disagreement is over who started it and why. She claims she was grabbed and punched. He states she entered the truck, he pulled her away, and she then pushed him. From a legal perspective, that last detail carries significant weight. Once officers establish that she initiated the encounter by trespassing into the vehicle, any physical contact that follows is analyzed differently. A push used to break free is still physical contact, and if that contact is not clearly justified as self-defense, it qualifies as battery. This is why the worker is asked a crucial question. Does he want to press charges? His answer matters because his account aligns with a provable sequence: trespass, physical interference, and a push. At that moment, the investigation no longer hinges on what might have happened. It hinges on what can be charged. And under the law, battery does not require a punch, only proof of unwanted contact. The most emotionally charged claim in this encounter is the one that ultimately carries the least legal weight: the allegation that she was punched in the face. From her perspective, this is the defining moment. It is repeated again and again, growing more urgent as she realizes she is the one being arrested. But policing decisions are not driven by repetition or outrage. They are driven by what can be verified. Officers observe no visible injury, There is no swelling, no bleeding, no broken skin. She declines medical attention. No witnesses corroborate the claim. No camera captures the alleged punch. In real time, there is nothing to substantiate it beyond her statement. That does not mean the punch could not have happened. It means it cannot be proven at the scene. By contrast, the trespass is undisputed. The physical push is acknowledged. Those facts are immediately chargeable. Law enforcement is required to act on the strongest, most provable offense, not the most serious allegation. This is where many encounters turn. People expect police to resolve moral disputes. Instead, officers resolve legal ones. When evidence is limited, the charge that survives is the one grounded in clear, observable actions. In this case, the allegation that shocked her mattered emotionally, but the actions she admitted to mattered legally. One of the most dangerous assumptions people make is believing that calling the police automatically places them on the right side of the law. It does not. Officers respond to events, not intentions. When they arrive, they do not evaluate who dialed first. They evaluate what happened, in what order, and what can be proven. In this case, the sequence matters more than the emotions behind it. The woman believes her call should shield her from consequences. Instead, it places her actions under scrutiny. By leaving her apartment, approaching the truck, and interfering with a vehicle that was not hers, she creates a legal problem before police ever arrive. This is why officers repeatedly return to the same point, the first illegal act. Once that line is crossed, everything else is viewed as a reaction to it. The call does not erase the trespass. The complaint does not undo the physical contact. This is the caller fallacy, the belief that seeking help guarantees protection. In reality, it guarantees examination. And when that examination reveals a clear violation, the person who asked for assistance can become the person taken into custody. Understanding that distinction is the difference between a complaint and a charge. As the handcuffs stay on, her focus shifts. The argument is no longer about noise or even the alleged punch. It becomes about consequences she did not anticipate. She mentions her dogs upstairs, her job, the bathroom. Each detail signals the same realization setting in that this situation is no longer under her control. What began as frustration has turned into panic. On Bodycam, this moment is unmistakable. Her voice rises. Her logic fragments. She cycles between anger and disbelief, repeating the same facts, hoping repetition will reverse the outcome. It does not. This is where emotion collides with procedure. Officers remain calm, methodical, and detached. They are not debating fairness. They are completing an arrest based on what has already been decided legally. Bodycam footage captures something people rarely expect to see themselves doing: arguing feelings against facts. In that moment, she is not being judged for her intent, she is being processed for her actions. The realization comes too late. Once the decision is made, emotion cannot undo it, and the camera keeps rolling, documenting the exact point where control is lost and authority takes over. This case does not hinge on who felt wronged. It hinges on sequence, evidence, and boundaries. A noise complaint became an arrest because a private vehicle was treated as a problem to be solved rather than a boundary to be respected. The moment that boundary was crossed, the law took over. Everything that followed raised voices, physical contact, and accusations was evaluated through that lens. The lesson here is not about who was more upset or who told the story better. It is about restraint. Calling the police is not a substitute for it. Neither is frustration. Law enforcement acts on provable facts in the moment, not on how unfair a situation feels. Trespass does not become legal because it was brief. Battery does not disappear because it was emotional. Once those elements are established, the outcome becomes difficult to reverse. Bodycam footage exposes this reality, without commentary or sympathy. It records how quickly ordinary decisions can trigger legal consequences and how little room there is to argue once that line is crossed. In the end, this was never about noise. It was about control, boundaries, and the cost of crossing them.